This is a story where there is true love and it's incredibly hot.
Sex lost its ex. Roseanne sang to a new low. And the lambada was the dance craze it never was. These are just some of the reasons 1990 is a year to remember on Entertainment Tonight for the last weekend in December and the last weekend of the year.
Hi, glad to have you along with us as we wrap up 1990. I'm Lisa Gibbons.
And I'm John Tesh. In 1990, Hollywood was selling sex. In movies, torrid love scenes no longer earned X ratings. In music, videos and stage acts sizzled, and television pushed the limits of explicitness. But in 1990, the commodity the public was most interested in was love. While there were many sexually oriented films in 1990 that played with the audience's imagination, the biggest box office hit of the year was a story of romance. In Ghost, the love scenes are erotic, not explicit.
We wanted these love scenes to not be about sex, but be about the communication and the connection with another human being through the eyes. And I think that came off.
Audiences also flocked to see Pretty Woman, the modern-day fairy tale starring Richard Gere and Julia Roberts.
These are good-hearted people that deserve a good thing, and they find a good thing.
Would you consider spending the week with me? I will pay you to be at my beck and call.
Richard Gere says it's easy to explain this film's mass appeal.
It's a cross between My Fair Lady and Wall Street.
Wild at Heart, directed by David Lynch, cannot be as easily described.
I'd go the far end of the world for you, baby. You know I would.
Rockin' good news.
Starring Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern, Wild at Heart played up the character's sexuality.
This is a story where there is true love and it's incredibly hot.
Graphic sex in serious adult films like Wild at Heart, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and His Lover, and Wild Orchid created a furor but didn't make a whole lot of money.
Oh, sorry.
Then the dreaded X rating was abolished when Henry and June came out. This film was the first to be rated NC-17, no children under 17 admitted. But while sex on the big screen sizzled, in 1990, many of the top TV shows turned down the heat.
I can't believe this.
But it's true. Top 10 shows like Cheers, The Cosby Show, and Roseanne spent most of their episodes away from the bedroom. And while The Simpsons have been called many things, sexy isn't one of them.
Hey, man, I didn't do anything wrong.
But some people thought 30-something did when they did this episode, which showed a gay couple in bed. Many viewers complained. ABC opted not to re-air the episode. But sex hasn't totally left the tube. Miniseries like Lucky Chances steamed up the airwaves, and the commercials just seemed to get racier.
Intimate, the uninhibited fragrance.
While music videos like Warrant's Cherry Pie seemed to get raunchier.
Tastes so good, make a grown man cry. Sweet cherry pie.
And Madonna's latest offering, Justify My Love, was even too hot for MTV. They've refused to air her video. Now the biggest question for 1991 seems to be, how can Madonna continue to top herself? And if you just can't get enough Madonna, we'll have more about her later on in the show. Movies in 1991, by the way, will offer the usual mix of romance, sex, comedy, and action-adventure. But at least one film promises to push new erotic limits. The director of Wild Orchid says his new project, Blue Movie Blue, will be even more explicit.
There's an old show business saying only her hairdresser knows for sure that in 1990 it wasn't a question of whether it's dyed or not dyed. Instead, it's what color was the hottest in Hollywood. In 1990, it was blondes versus brunettes, a search for perfection.
Drive me crazy with perfection. I've worn my pride as my protection.
Looking at 1990's two top movies, it seemed dark hair got much more exposure than blonde, with brunette Demi Moore getting all the action in Ghost, and in Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts started out as a blonde streetwalker, only to be transformed into a brunette high-class hooker with the heart of gold.
Well, Mom, it's a Disney movie.
In the film Almost an Angel, Linda Kozlowski, Paul Hogan's real-life wife, plays a pretty unglamorous role, her hair here somewhat ambiguous.
I'm a hairaholic. My hair's a different color every week, so well, I'll never know who he's going to wake up next to in the bed. A redhead.
Sherilyn Fenn is a bona fide sex symbol from the TV series Twin Peaks. She's a brunette who once bleached her hair blonde.
2 days after my hair was bleached, somebody called me a dumb blonde. And I was stunned, and then I just laughed. I thought, my God, people are so narrow-minded. They just think one way.
Everywhere you look, from high fashion models to swimsuit models, brunettes are right in there battling for space with the blondes. For example, on the cover of Sport magazine, a brunette.
When I saw the real thing, I just went, wow, I really got the cover.
In 1990, some actresses who were blonde even went so far as doing the unthinkable.
I'm naturally blonde. I probably shouldn't say, but I am, yes.
However, it was Madonna who showed blondes can't be counted out.
Come here.
Well, now, in case you've been wondering, we have it on very good authority. Madonna has always been a blonde, except for those times, of course, when she was not blonde. And the same for us.
Coming up, what does that mean? Coming up next, 1990's biggest controversies, including Roseanne Barr and public reaction to her off-key singing.
That's my national anthem. Now, I'll just be very selective of what crowd I sing it in front of.
And later, actors whose stars shone brightly for the first time in 1990.
I can't believe it. Don't you ever quit? I've been away a long time, and my roommate's still going strong.
Renews it Roommate Air Freshener with twice the freshening liquid, so it freshens air longer than Magic Mushroom.
Long-lasting roommate.
How do people see you? Too busy to cover your gray hair? You could cover it with Loving Care, the wash-in hair color that's as gentle to the hair as a shampoo. Really, is there a choice? Gray hair or Loving Care?
I like it smooth, I like it slow, taking our time, round and round we go, don't ever change.
Seems as long as there's been slow dancing, there's been slow high.
After all these years, don't ever change, don't ever change. 'Cause you know
The best things in life never change.
I like it slow.
It seems that every time you turn around these days, another pain reliever with ibuprofen in it is comparing itself to Tylenol. But you know what they can't say? They can't say they're gentler than Tylenol, because they're not. Tylenol won't irritate your stomach the way ibuprofen sometimes can. That's a medical fact. And is it any wonder that today hospitals use Tylenol 14 times more than ibuprofen? Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
Mom, can I eat at Jimmy's? They're having chicken and stovetop stuffing.
Sure, but so are we.
What time?
8.
What time are you eating? 6. Hello, Mom.
You can never get enough stovetop stuffing instead of potatoes.
What makes everything so whip-smacking? Lip-smacking. Ah, good. Cool Whip's the one with that whipped creamy taste. Cool Whip's the one.
1990 will go down as the year celebrities made their private affairs public and faced the backlash of the public who previously held them near and dear to the heart. From singers who don't sing to a beef over a TV commercial, the stars were being roasted over the coals, led by the heavyweight champ of controversy, Roseanne Barr. 1990 brought celebrity controversies to the media forefront like never before. Roseanne seemed to be the poster child of the press, playing up any and every uncomfortable situation. First, she married Tom Arnold 3 days after her divorce to husband number 1 was final. Then she gave the boot to producers on her show, and then hit a really sour note. Barr brought the wrath of a whole nation upon herself, and weeks of America versus Roseanne followed.
I was their average okay singer.
I think that a couple of callers likened it to her taking a match to the American flag right there.
That's my national anthem, too, and I'll sing it whenever I want to.
Katie Lang created a stew with her Meat Stinks commercial. Lang, who's a vegetarian, angered the cattle ranchers in her hometown in Canada.
We're used to irresponsible statements from people on issues they don't really understand, and particularly entertainers.
I'm just giving those people who want a choice the opportunity to be with me in support of that decision.
I will live by my own policies.
Sinead O'Connor decided to boycott this year, too. She followed suit when Saturday Night Live's Nora Dunn refused to appear on the show with raunchy comedian Andrew Dice Clay. O'Connor also refused to let the national anthem be played before her concerts, whether Roseanne Barr sang it or not.
I thought it was pretty much a slap in the face to Americans because it's the national anthem and she's a guest in the country.
I didn't do it in order to be offensive to the American people.
I'm in disgrace. He's in disgrace.
Andy Rooney fell from grace this year for allegedly making racist remarks. CBS suspended the satirist for 3 months without pay, even though Rooney still contends he was wronged.
I did not say what I was quoted as having said. It is not a phrase I would ever use. I am not a racist. I am not a bigot.
I'm not hired to be terrorized or manipulated.
A war of words broke out earlier this year when Delta Burke picked a public bone with designing women producers Linda and Harry Thomason. She claimed they mistreated her. They said she's a temperamental star. It led to more on-air bickering than on their show.
He did put us all in a room and yell and scream and say how ungrateful we were and throw things at us. And when I tried to leave, he barred the door.
Well, I did yell and scream at her one time 2 years ago, and believe me, for that, I am deeply sorry.
Now, the mistake that these people have made is they've launched an attack against a woman of courage, and having none of that commodity, the attack is going to fail them.
But as outrageous as it may sound, no one at Designing Women, most of all Linda, has ever said an unkind or negative or critical word about Delta Burke's way.
Justify my love.
Madonna won't justify anything she does. The queen of controversy made this X-rated video, toured with this X-rated concert, wrapped herself with little more than the American flag, and was one of many accused of lip-syncing their way through public appearances.
Now and then, there's a fool such as I.
But perhaps the biggest scandal of the entire year was the unveiling of Milli Vanilli. These pretty boy puppets did less than lip sync. They never sang a note, and we chronicled their rise and fall.
And the best new artist is Milli Vanilli. If you're a star, suddenly people get jealous and they try to look, they try to search.
Everybody that worked on the Milli Vanilli project knew what was going on and what the facts were.
We were innocent in a way. We were too young. We see the stardom. We've seen the fame. Girl, you know it's true. And that's why there's no Milli Vanilli anymore.
Well, the guys from Milli Vanilli claim they will sing on a new album in the near future. But then they are the same guys who claimed they sang on the first one.
There were other events or non-events that had Hollywood singing the blues. Webster defines flop as a failure, and much of the past year was spent dancing around them.
Lambada!
Touted as the dance craze of the new decade, the lambada instead ground itself into oblivion. 3 separate lambada movies didn't help, including one about a Brazilian princess who wanted to draw attention to the endangered rainforest by coming to Los Angeles and entering a lambada contest. The star of a different lambada film seemed to sum up why the whole dance craze bombed at the box office.
They basically threw together a movie that just really sells shaking buns and little dancing and jungle scenes.
Other film flops of 1990 include Jack Nicholson's The Two Jakes. It took 5 years to bring it to theaters. It lasted 5 weeks at the box office.
In this town, I'm the leper with the most fingers.
Ghost Dad, Bill Cosby's first foray into film since Leonard Part 6, was a bust, and even Marvelous Mel crashed at the cash register with Air America.
Don't worry. I crash better than anyone I know.
Navy SEALs was also a bomb, according to its star Charlie Sheen.
When I was young and foolish, I accepted the film, and then as I matured, the script sucked.
Tracy.
Tracy?
You mind if I call you Dick?
Not only did films fizzle, so did film merchandise. Days of Thunder and Dick Tracy had hopes of a Batman-type bonanza, but instead bombed. A Steve the Tramp doll inspired by the Tracy movie was even pulled off the shelves when advocates for the homeless got up in arms. Parents said they were no longer willing to shell out big bucks to advertise movies.
I think I should get paid for it. The kids should get paid for it instead.
The movie may have been a hit, but the hooker look, inspired by Pretty Woman, became a flop when designers seized on the trend with outfits like the placemat skirt. Another fad that failed involved Michael Jackson. Jackson tried to leave his footprint on the shoe business by designing a shoe for LA Gear, However, the public gave his designs the boot. One more fashion trend that was destined to be a dud in 1990, the hairless chest look. Seems men just didn't want to endure the pain. And television was hardly immune to egg-laying. The musical series Hull High, which featured a teacher gyrating in skin-tight red leather, flunked out. And Cop Rock, a musical Hill Street Blues, also seemed off-key for most viewers.
Of course we are.
The World Series struck out by only going 4 games, causing the CBS network to lose millions in advertising dollars. And it turned out to be a bad year for Darlene Flugel. The actress was chosen to replace Stephanie Kramer on Hunter and only lasted 13 episodes.
Get going. Get him out of my...
The Dice Man also crapped out in 1990 after Sinead O'Connor boycotted his Saturday Night Live appearance. It was downhill when his first starring role, Ford Fairlane, was a flop, and Fox refused to release his next film.
They offered me cash. I took it.
And Bert Parks' much-publicized return to the Miss America pageant became a bust when he accidentally read the wrong names of former Miss Americas on live television.
Miss America 1981, Susan Powell. Miss America 1985, Charlene Wells Hawks. Miss America 1986, Susan Aiken. But all right, you want to go?
Come on.
Thank you anyway. Thanks very much.
Yeah, I know. I feel badly for Bert Parks. That
Yeah.
happens to all of us.
We have all been there.
Yes.
It was a rough night.
It was. One of the year's biggest box office flops is still busy flopping, unfortunately. Havana has made a little more than $4 million in its first 2 weeks. It cost an estimated $50 million to make.
Well, it may not be doing well, but it did bring Robert Redford back to the screen. We'll check out his and other notable comebacks when we come back.
Celebrate the new year with these great savings from Eagle. Tony's frozen pizzas, 13 to 16 and a half ounce, are on sale for $1.69. Choose from sausage, pepperoni, or extra cheese. And for quick cleanups, Mardi Gras paper towels. Save 30 cents a roll. They're now on special at 49 cents each. Fresh red and white Florida grapefruit, just $1.79 for a 5-pound bag. Shop Eagle for great New Year's savings.
Due to excess inventory, GMC Truck is holding a model closeout. This is a limited time program to reduce inventory levels on 1990 Sierra pickup trucks only. The program includes $500 cash back or a competitive finance rate for qualified buyers, plus a special cash value incentive direct to dealers. Come in today and make your best deal on a 1990 Sierra pickup while supplies last.
GMC Truck. It's not just a truck anymore. It's quality on the road.
It's giveaway days at the Great Chicago Furniture Store, and Homemakers is giving away a card table and 4 chairs free with any entertainment center that's $300 or more. A matching ottoman free with any of these chairs. A 19-inch color TV free with any wall system costing $1,000 or more. A nostalgia radio free with any sofa or sofa bed. Plus, free credit till March on everything. Giveaway days. On now at Homemakers, the Great Chicago Furniture Store.
Now through New Year's Day, it's Carpetland USA's half-off holiday sale. Now take half off every carpet in the store, plus get free pad, free credit till June, and extra discounts on labor. Pop a balloon and win a car phone, a vacation, instant money, or up to 25% more off the sale price. Every balloon's a winner. It's Carpetland USA's half-off holiday sale. Half-off carpet, free pad, free credit, and more. Hurry, sale ends New Year's Day.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries.
1990 was a year some big film stars who haven't had a hit lately made some big movies. And it was a year some well-known TV stars who haven't worked for a while returned in a regular series. It all falls under that dreaded Hollywood cliche called the comeback. 1990 marked the return of The Godfather, Warren Beatty, and Robert Redford, all good big-screen bets.
Gambling? I try to keep the gambling to a minimum.
Redford last appeared in 1986 with Legal Eagles. His latest, Havana, a thinly disguised remake of Casablanca, marked his participation in almost 30 films.
We got a place for people who beat up kids.
This cockroach your old man?
Go suck an egg.
Dick Tracy was Warren Beatty's first film since laying an egg with Ishtar in '87. He hoped Tracy would introduce him to a new generation.
There's no blood. There's no four-letter words. There's no... I have made usually movies that are kind of adult movies, and this is a movie that is definitely good for kids.
3, and action. Director Francis Ford Coppola finally presented The Godfather Part 3 on Christmas Day, and people lined up with money. Good thing, says Francis, because films are expensive to make.
Every decision is real important. If you make a mistake, it can cost a lot of money, and I was really on my best behavior to try to make this third film as efficiently and not at all wastefully in a time when film costs, everyone says, have gotten very, very high.
I have a business proposition for you.
And 1990 was a banner year for Richard Gere. He came back-to-back with Pretty Woman and Internal Affairs.
Very impressive. I got lucky.
Gere said the secret for him was learning to say yes more often.
A number of films that I've turned down or just agonized over so much that they kind of went away. I should have done them. I should have just worked.
Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. I mean, nothing.
Meanwhile, Whoopi Goldberg struck pay dirt as the offbeat medium in Ghost. It had been a while since her last hit performance in The Color Purple, but she says she didn't feel pressured by this film.
All I was there to do was have some fun.
You were my hero.
And television marked its share of comeback appearances as well. Burt Reynolds, last seen in BL Striker, a cop show, tried his luck with situation comedy before a live audience. He's a football coach in Evening Shade.
It's a wonderful feeling. I mean, I had no idea that it would be that much fun. It's just so much fun to have the people here and responding to you.
I'm not a television reporter anymore. I'm a writer, and
Robert Urich, who had TV success before, both with Spencer for Hire and Vegas, returned with light comedy on American Dreamer. He's a newspaper columnist on this show.
I tell you, I feel reborn in a way, you know.
And Sharon Gless came back despite saying no more TV series after Cagney and Lacey. She is Rosie O'Neill, defense attorney, and she says she feels like she's home again.
It's great. I love it. I took 2 years off, and my first day on the set, I realized, why did I wait? You know, this is really where I belong.
And an important safety tip here, if you meet one on the street, not many stars like to think that they are involved in a comeback, whether it's in movies or TV. The proper buzz phrase is, I've been on hiatus.
Good advice. Well, out with the old and in with the new is the way Hollywood has operated historically, and 1990 was no exception, except this past year, the crop of newcomers seems younger and more savvy than ever before.
Well, I was just walking to my friend's house, and this guy, he starts walking up, he goes, "Hey, Home Alone!" Oh.
The most surprising new face of 1990 belonged to 10-year-old Macaulay Culkin, who stars in the most surprising hit of 1990, Home Alone.
This is my house. I have to defend it. You can't fool me. That means you're...
A 12-year-old provided another new face in the midsummer hit Dick Tracy. Charlie Korsmo, in only his second movie, stole scene after scene with his co-stars, including Warren Beatty.
For a tough guy, you do a lot of pansy things. Hold me.
Winona Ryder captured the public's attention as the new face among actresses when she starred in 3 films in 1990. She played the part of Edward Scissorhands' love interest in the movie of the same name. She was Cher's daughter in Mermaids, and she was a rebellious young girl in Welcome Home, Roxy Carmichael.
Captain, please listen to me. 2 minutes, that's all.
Among those who qualified as a new face in 90, Alec Baldwin, who played CIA analyst Jack Ryan in The Hunt for Red October.
Give this man a chance.
I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there.
In television, the star of the unlikely show The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air provided the fresh face of prime time. Will Smith rapped his way into the hearts of television viewers almost as a surprise.
Well, maybe I do a little movie here, just a little piece in somebody's movie, and it's like they just gave me my own TV show.
Of course, no list of new and fresh faces would be complete without the 3 sirens from Twin Peaks. Lara Flynn Boyle, Machen Amick, and Sherilyn Fenn all did their best to heat up the bizarre primetime soap opera. Fenn worried that all the sex appeal was limiting.
You get pigeonholed. That's what you are. That's all you can do.
Fenn's body was also one of the freshest of 1990, as she was pictured in a spread in Playboy magazine, a feat that was matched by another fresh face in the movies, Sharon Stone. Stone appeared opposite Arnold Schwarzenegger in the science fiction thriller Total Recall.
You wouldn't hurt me.
Yep, he would. Then he would turn to a second new face in Total Recall, Rachel Ticotin. Her screen presence had real impact. But like many new faces from this year and other passing years in show business, Ticotin, along with the others, probably has to hope that real life won't match the dialogue in the movie.
I don't remember you.
Other performers who've made major breakthroughs this year include, of course, Keenan Ivory Wayans, whose comedy series In Living Color is such a great hit on the Fox network. The Simpsons, everywhere you look, they seem to be there, from TV to T-shirts to the cover of Time magazine.
Yeah, it's been an interesting year. Coming up next, Madonna goes head-to-head with her critics.
If you are sure that I am a sinner, then let he who has not sinned cast the first stone.
The premium choice.
A little snack, Sherlock?
First I gotta find out who done it.
It's Country Crock Cheese Snacks.
Country Crock, that does it.
How's the evidence?
Highly spreadable snack.
Elementary, it's Country Crock.
Tastes so good it's a crime.
That's because Country Crock Cheese Snacks are made with real cheese.
Aha, great taste exposed.
Yet there are fewer calories and low cholesterol.
So we can return to the scene of the snack.
You don't miss a clue.
Or a bite.
Made with 100% natural cheese, but with fewer calories and low cholesterol. Shed's Country Crock Spreadable Cheese Snacks. Also a new classic ranch and cheddar and bacon.
Catch a Kodak star. There I was, about to make my theatrical debut. My parents waited, my teacher prodded, my sister pointed. Then I made my big entrance.
This Christmas, give the new Kodak Star 35 camera and capture all your holiday memories.
For the grand finale, I brought the house down.
Catch a Kodak Star this Christmas.
Take good care of my baby. Be just as kind as you can be. And would you please remember to treat her soft and tender? Because my baby belongs to me.
Johnson's brings out the baby soft shine born in your hair.
These are two identical slotted spoons and two very different spaghetti sauces, Prego and Ragu. When you see them side by side, the difference really comes through. Prego spaghetti sauce. Homemade taste. It's in there.
Come on.
Welcome back to Entertainment Tonight. I'm John Tesh.
I'm Lisa Gibbons. Fame is built on words and deeds, and having those actions reported on by the press. When it came to fame in 1990, Madonna reigned supreme. She made the news more often than any other star, as much for her business savvy as the steamy details of her private life. For Madonna, it's been the kind of year that most entertainers only dream about. Hardly a month went by that she wasn't in the news making headlines, from speculation about enlarging her lips to coverage of a courtroom fight over the height of her hedges. Madonna was the media darling of 1990. The most recent controversy, of course, has surrounded her latest video, the ultra-erotic Justify My Love. Such a buzz was generated over its suggestive depiction of sexual fantasies that it was banned from MTV. Instead, it wound up on the playlist of that bastion of hard news reporting, Nightline.
First, I'd like to say I don't believe in censorship of any kind, but then I would like to say that I believe in labeling.
Her comments supporting the idea of putting warning labels on music videos came as a shock to many. But by year's end, the stickers were showing up on her video in record stores all across the country. But the flap over Justify My Love was just the latest in a year full of big headlines. Her Blonde Ambition tour was seen by more than 2 million people across 3 continents and in 10 different countries. From Tokyo to London, her bold and outrageous performance left her fans spent. But when she got to Rome, protests from Catholic organizations led to low ticket sales and cancellations of a concert, a move that left Madonna angry.
Basta, per favore! If you are sure that I am a sinner, then let he who has not sinned cast the first stone.
On the home front, she seemed to be everywhere. Forbes magazine made her their cover girl, as did dozens of others. Some images leapt off the pages and onto billboards, although sometimes they had to be toned down.
I was beginning to wonder what a girl had to do to get arrested.
Wearing that dress is a step in the right direction.
She also made it onto the big screen as Breathless Mahoney in Dick Tracy, and her co-starring role both on and off camera with Warren Beatty became the most talked about romance in Hollywood this year. But Madonna also showed that she has a socially conscious side as well.
Dr. King, Malcolm X, freedom of speech is as good as sex.
In this public service announcement, draped in little more than Old Glory, Madonna urged young Americans to get out and vote or suffer the consequences.
And if you don't vote, you're gonna get a spanking.
As you might expect, the spot caused quite a stir. But then again, just about anything that Madonna did or said made news in 1990. It was just one of those years. Well, Madonna will be making headlines the first few weeks of the new year anyway. She's starring in a new Woody Allen film, and he is notorious for keeping the details of his films top secret.
So who will be making headlines in 1991? We asked a team of well-known psychics to gaze into the futures of Hollywood's biggest stars, and we took a look back at some of the wilder predictions psychics made 1 year ago. In 1990, soothsayers said Jackie Onassis would tie the knot with rock star John Bon Jovi. Linda Evans would be married in an Egyptian pyramid. Don Johnson would be lost at sea during a powerboat race. And Michael Jackson would launch a search for the abominable snowman to add to his private zoo. None of these predictions came true. 1990 was supposed to bring wedding bells to Jackie.
Marriage is very good. Looks like she'll be relocating to the East Coast. Good place to buy property would be Connecticut.
And the stork was supposed to bring Cher a new addition to her family.
I must be having a water buffalo. I've been pregnant for 5 years by every man that I've ever known.
Whether their predictions come true or not does not deter psychics from dreaming up a fresh crop every year.
Happy New Year, Happy New Year, baby.
Well, I see that Elizabeth is going to, oh my goodness, she's going to be married again. And this time I see it's like she's finally reaching the top of the mountain.
Whoopi Goldberg. I see an Oscar, I see a mantle, and I predict that Whoopi Goldberg could conceivably win the Academy Award. However, she's definitely going to be nominated in 1991 for what other film other than Ghost, of course.
It's very sad for Princess Di because she looks, if she were an ordinary woman, I'd say she was getting a divorce and very unhappy.
Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan, they're going to be entering the baby sweepstakes this year. And I see them having a baby that's about, well, it's actually a premature baby, so it's about 3 to 4 pounds.
Jackie is going to be very much back in the limelight. Probably this will be related to a man in her life.
Cher has a spirit who's truly guiding her career. I predict that Cher will realize during 1991 that actor James Dean is responsible for all her great success that she's having from now on.
Teshi?
Yeah, I predicted 40% of those people will be out of work by next year. Other predictions include Mel Gibson winning an Oscar for Hamlet, his co-star Glenn Close starring in a movie playing a man and a woman, and Tom Selleck and his wife having another child.
Those aren't that far out there. So
no, they're
those are
not.
pretty safe. I predict Leonard Maltin has something to say about 1990s movies when we come back.
It's Chevrolet Geo winter time, where everyone can win with the most fuel-efficient line of cars and trucks in America.
Sir, what's your favorite color?
Medium Quasar Blue Metallic.
Good guess. You can win with cash back or low financing on any Geo. Tracker, Storm, Prism. Miss, come here often?
I've never even bought a new car before.
Well, then you can win with a first-time buyer bonus on any Geo.
I love this Metro.
I can tell. Get to know Geo during wintertime at your Chevy Geo dealer.
So, what do you call it when your Better Buick dealers offer the best deals, the biggest factory cashback, and the lowest financing of the year? What else but, if you don't buy a new Buick right now, you gotta be crazy. Year-end clearance. Make your best deal on Buick, ranked the most trouble-free American car line. Then get factory cashback on selected models up to $3,000, or financing as low as 3.9%. But hurry to your Better Buick dealer before Monday, January 7th. If you don't, you gotta be, you know.
Got this camera for Christmas. This is my living room, all from Bay Furniture. Great, huh? Anyhow, I thought I'd use my camera to tell you about Bay's 7-hour New Year's Day sale. Don't look. Now. See, I have reminders all over, because it's only 7 hours, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. See, at Bay, it won't cost you a penny down, not a penny in payments, and not 1 penny in interest for 6 months. There's Fluffy. Oh, check out my great dinette. I love Bay. Great furniture, great price. So remember, no payment, 6 months.
Call Sears now. Arrange for your free January in-home estimate on Sears installed home improvements. Get the lowest prices of the season.
At Acura, we've discovered that when we go the extra mile, so do the people who drive our cars. The 1991 Acura Integra.
'90s saw the making of hundreds of films, every kind, size, and shape imaginable. There was a film about a hooker with a heart of gold, a gaggle of films involving futuristic fantasies, and a big film about a gang of green Ninja Turtles. So what does all this mean? Well, here's Leonard Maltin to let us know. Leonard.
I'm going to try, John. Now, this is the time of year when the seers and pundits look ahead to 1991 and make their predictions. But the thing I find so fascinating about the movie business is that it remains resolutely unpredictable. The year just past has had more than its share of surprises, both happy and unpleasant, for filmmakers and film goers alike.
You want me to go out with you for another 48 hours? Now look, Reggie, this time I promise you it's gonna be different.
Another 48 hours was different, all right. It wasn't any good. Despite the presence of Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte, and the same director who made 48 Hours, Walter Hill, this sequel was stultifyingly stale. It did business anyway, which could not be said for other expensive, highly touted, and disappointing sequels this year, including RoboCop 2 and Rocky 5.
You thought I was in this for the money, Tommy?
Some sequels didn't deserve to die out as they did. Many critics liked Gremlins 2 better than the original. I know I did. And Back to the Future Part 3 was a delight. But the greedy release of a terrible Part 2 just 6 months earlier dampened audience interest in this very funny follow-up.
What's your name, dude?
Eastwood. Clint Eastwood.
What kind of stupid name is that?
1990 was a year when, once again, the studios learned that it's audience word of mouth that can make or break a movie, not an advertising budget. And when people started talking about Pretty Woman, they made it a hit and kept it in theaters for months.
Well done! Well done!
The same thing happened to Ghost, which had moviegoers going back to see it a second and third time and building its box office take to astronomical levels. Here was another 1990 surprise, a little film by a first-time feature filmmaker named Reginald Hudlin. The film, House Party, which proved another movie axiom: it's not how much it costs that counts. House Party was made on a relative shoestring, but it paid off big in entertainment and originality. And that made it a box office winner, too. No one was quite prepared for the blockbuster takeoff of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it made the record books too, if not any 10 best lists. Perhaps the biggest coup of the year was pulled off by Kevin Costner, who put his reputation on the line to make a film he believed in, Dances with Wolves. There's always an element of the press and the movie industry waiting for someone to fail when they go out on a limb. But Costner had the last laugh. His debut film as director has turned out to be one of the best films of 1990. While Francis Ford Coppola kept moviegoers in suspense until the last week of the year to see if he could make lightning strike a third time with his Godfather saga. He could, and he did. And that brought 1990 to a close in fine filmmaking fashion. A very satisfying finale to a pretty uneven movie year. I was trying to think of films I'd put on a 10 best list the other day, and I couldn't think of 10 really outstanding enough to warrant being on a list like that.
Other than Another 48 Hours, Leonard, do you have a favorite film of the year?
I think my favorite is Dances with Wolves, actually. Though I'd give strong marks to Goodfellas and Postcards from the Edge. Those are my 3 top picks for the year.
Check it out, Leonard Maltin, kind of in the mainstream there.
Why not?
Thanks, Leonard.
My favorite was Leonard's participation in Gremlins 2.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, another vote here.
Right. Thanks, Leonard.
1990 also brought its share of sadness. A number of entertainment legends left us, but their accomplishments live on, testaments to their talent.
I've heard them calling my name.
Jim Henson was a man whose creative genius brought out the child in all of us. He was the inventor of the Muppets, voice of Kermit the Frog, and one of the talents behind Sesame Street. He died prematurely. Fans were shocked and saddened, and the very same day, May 16th, came word that another show business legend was gone. Sammy Davis Jr. spent 60 years entertaining audiences. He sang, he danced, and bowled over even his contemporaries with his talent. The world lost Sarah Vaughan and many other irreplaceable personalities. Here's a glimpse of stars, starting with composer Aaron Copland, who left us this year, accompanied by the music of Copland's Appalachian Spring. '90 was a year when we lost many giants of the arts. Leonard Bernstein, who composed for movies, symphonies, and Broadway classics.
Maria, that's a Maria.
Greta Garbo, a legend in her own time. Her films will be alive forever.
I want to be alone.
Mary Martin's sheer exuberance brought down the house wherever she performed. And who could ever forget her as Peter Pan?
Here am I on fire.
While Barbara Stanwyck starred in films of all types over a 60-year span, she was as good in comedy as in drama.
I loved you, Walter, and I hated him. But I wasn't going to do anything about it, not until I met you.
Seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind.
Ryan White's life was cut short by AIDS, but his resilient spirit was felt by a world of admirers. Newsman Douglas Edwards passed away this year and will be remembered, as will actress Jill Ireland and her courageous battle with cancer.
I've grown accustomed to her face.
Our thoughts will remain with these great stars. For art, as in life, there is an eventual rite of passage.
Mr. Bojangles, dance. Come back and dance.
Could you tell us what you would do if you won Illinois' Little Lotto?
There is a bird bath I've had my eye on.
Little Lotto's bigger than that.
Maybe a new awning.
You'd still have money to burn.
Oh, patio furniture.
But Little Lotto is worth at least $200,000 cash, guaranteed to a single winner. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It could be even more.
We could really spread our wings.
Play Little Lotto. Come on, live a little. You could if you won.
Coming on video cassette. From director Spike Lee, the first great film of the 90s, Jeffrey Lyons, sneak previews. 2 thumbs up, Siskel and Ebert. Denzel Washington, Spike Lee. Mo Better Blues, coming January 17th from MCA Universal Home Video. Also on video cassette.
Always do the right thing.
I got it. I'm gone.
Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, now just $19.95 at video stores everywhere.
You wouldn't go to a Yugo dealer to buy a Cadillac, so why go to a department store for furniture? It just makes sense to buy from the factory-authorized Lazy Boy Showcase Shop. During our 13th month sale, plush, comfortable Lazy Boy chairs from $219. Over 125 Lazy Boy styles and hundreds of fabrics available today. I want you to be happy. If not, just return it within 5 days. So get your toys and clothes at a department store, but buy your genuine Lazy Boy products from factory-trained experts. I'm Chuck Forsey. You got my number.
First, the bad news. Looks like we're in for yet another long, cold winter. Now the good news. Buy a new Nissan Pathfinder or truck right now, and you won't have to make a payment till spring. So even if the temperature never rises above 0 this winter, at least your payments won't either. Announcing no payments till spring from Nissan now through January 3rd. See your Chicagoland Nissan dealer for details.
For change.
I like it slow.
Production assistance provided by MasterCard, the card that's accepted at over 8 million places. No wonder no card helps you master more moments than MasterCard.
Travel arrangements furnished by Delta. Every day, Delta and the Delta Connection offers you more than 4,200 flights to more than 260 cities worldwide. At Delta, we love to fly, and it shows.
Celebrating a birthday on Saturday, cheers to Ted Danson. He's 43. Actor Jon Voight turns 52. Actress Mary Tyler Moore turns 53. And actor Ed Flanders is 56.
Celebrating a birthday on Sunday, actress Tracy Ullman is 31. Former Monkey Mike Nesbitt is 48. Actor Russ Tamblyn, 56 on Sunday. Actor Jack Lord is 62. And blues star Bo Diddley is also 62.
From Vogue to Nothing Compares to You to Hold On, 1990 had the music business hitting the high notes. 4 of the year's top 5 songs are by female singers or groups, making this the year of the woman. From Madonna to Janet Jackson, Whitney Houston and newcomers Wilson Phillips to Sinead O'Connor, 1990 was the year of women in music.
Said, girl, you better try to have fun, no matter what you do.
Ireland's Sinead O'Connor told a Billboard Awards audience that the huge success of her #1 ballad, Nothing Compares to You, caused her great joy and great pain.
The pain comes from the fact that as a result of being famous, I'm constantly struggling to be recognized and accepted and understood and loved as an ordinary human being and not as Sinead O'Connor.
As Sinead struggled with her newfound fame, Madonna recreated hers. Both Vogue and the controversial Justify My Love shot to #1, while Hanky Panky from the film Dick Tracy rode top 10.
I tell you, mama.
Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation was the #1 pop album, 8 Billboard Awards, 5 top 5 singles, 2 of them #1s. And she says she's closing in on Brother Michael when it comes to major awards.
We're not even, because he still has like 15 or 10 more than me at home, but hopefully someday I'll get there.
After 2 hugely successful albums, Whitney Houston rested for 3 years. But in 1990, she had a #1 hit in I'm Your Baby Tonight.
I needed the break. I needed the rest. I needed to regroup. I needed to go and live in my new home. I needed to settle down. I needed to, live with me for a minute, just me and not the world and not, the media and not this or that.
Someday somebody's gonna make you want to turn around and say goodbye.
Newcomers Wilson Phillips checked in with Billboard's #1 pop song of the year, Hold On, among 3 top 10 hits. They said Women in 1990 was meant to be.
I think it was just timing. I think that there had been so many, the charts had been dominated by the males for the past, 5 years. And now it's our turn.
Alana Miles pitched in with her #1 record, Black Velvet, as Mariah Carey released 2 #1s, Vision of Love and Love Takes Time.
'Cause love takes time.
Carey is likely to be the Grammy's best new artist, but she shies from talk of it.
I don't think that music should be a competition. You know what I mean? I think that it should be, I did a good record, I'm proud of myself. You did a good record, you should be proud of yourself.
I did too much lying.
Lisa Stanfield's crossover hit All Around the World did her proud, and she wins our Understatement Award when telling us how her success in 1990 made her feel.
You sit down sometimes and realize, what's happening, and you think, yeah, it's all right, really. It's good.
Well, Taylor Dayne and Paula Abdul also had impressive years. Both had hit albums, and both had #1 songs.
Many of those women could be taking center stage when the 33rd Annual Grammy Awards get underway on February 20th. While the music industry is busy taking steps to prevent any more surprises like Milli Vanilli, there may be some other surprises in the making. Mariah Carey burst onto the charts with such an impact that she's a definite frontrunner for Best New Artist. Other strong contenders include several offspring of famous musicians, like the women of Wilson Phillips and the twin sons of Ricky Nelson. With their group Nelson, they hit #1 with Love and Affection.
is our time, we feel. The time is right.
And it could also be time for Belle Biv DeVoe. Already experienced as former members of New Edition, they could ironically find themselves nominated as new artists.
You can't fail if you do the best that you can do and you know exactly what you want to do, then you can't go wrong.
Lisa Stansfield and the group En Vogue are possibilities here. And while there's no Vanilli, there could be Vanilla, as in Vanilla Ice. It would be hard to ignore the first rapper to top the singles and album charts.
I'm in it for the longevity. I'm going to be here for a while. Y'all going to be hearing from Vanilla Ice throwing down for years to come.
Bette Midler was named Best New Artist back in 1973. Now she's part of a crowded field going after Best Pop Female Performer. Other contenders for a nomination in this tough category include Mariah Carey, Sinead O'Connor, Madonna, Janet Jackson, Lisa Stansfield, Taylor Dayne, Gloria Estefan, and Whitney Houston, who has won this Grammy twice before. Michael Bolton was named Best Male Pop Performer at the last Grammys. His 1990 hits could help him repeat. Rod Stewart, who's never won, could get there on a downtown train. Fellow Englishman Paul Young also has a chance, but look for a bunch of previous Grammy winners like Phil Collins, George Michael, James Ingram, and Billy Joel. Nominations for the Grammy Awards will be announced on January 10th. CBS will broadcast the show live from New York on February 20th.
Good year in music, wasn't it?
It has been a great year.
It was nice. Some of the biggest surprises come in small packages. Coming up on Entertainment Tonight.
On our Inside Story Monday, you'll meet the most exciting preteens in the movies. These kids star in some of the season's biggest blockbusters. See what they're like on screen and off. That's our Inside Story Monday.
What if you could build a new Chicago radio station that was really different? What if you could take out all the rap and weird songs and the meaningless chatter? And you could put in the best songs from the 80s and today. If you could build a radio station that was really different, you'd have the all-new 100.3, The Point. Try Chicago's all-new 100.3, The Point, for the best songs of the 80s and today with less talk.
The Protector, the professional new vehicle protection, and more. And now, the Pro phone, with the crystal clarity of Cellular One service. Go with the Pro, the Protector. Available only at better new car dealers.
For a limited time, your Ford dealer is offering the lowest rate ever on the all-new 1991 Ford Escort. Not 12, not 9, not even 6%. Right now, get 1.9% financing for 48 months on Escort.
And we're so sure it's the best small car that we'll give you $100 if you test drive an Escort and buy any of its competition. But with low 1.9 financing for 48 months, the only place you'll have to drive is to your local Ford dealer today.
That's the lowest rate ever on the all-new Ford Escort.
These are the final days. Peppers has put a major waterbed retailer out of business and purchased all their remaining inventory. Everything must be liquidated immediately. These are the final days of this total liquidation. Everything must be sold now at up to 70% off. Liquidation prices with a full warranty. Plus no payments for 3 months. Hurry! Everything must go during the final days of the gigantic liquidation buyout sale now at Peppers, Chicago's #1 waterbed dealer.
The stars, of course, are pretty accustomed to being the subjects of far-fetched predictions about the future. Those tabloid headlines about Roseanne Barr gives birth to quintuplets, and Mel Gibson's going to see the Loch Ness Monster, and it gets crazy.
Now we're giving the stars a chance to put their futures in their own hands. We had them gaze into their crystal balls, taking a look into 1991.
Naturally, at this time of year, we all look forward to peace. I think that depends on Saddam Hussein. Either he pulls out or he doesn't pull out.
I don't know if I have a prediction, but I have hope that we could have peace, certainly in the Middle East, and they could bring our boys home.
Well, if we work hard enough, we might get world peace and end world hunger. We could do it in a year if we wanted to.
I predict Madonna will do something shocking. And I predict I'll do something shocking.
Now I'm ready for a really hot, getting back to that sex stuff, a hot, sexual, powerful, moving, funny, and dramatic film, all rolled up into one, with Kevin Costner.
I predict that we'll try to have a kid and we'll get successful this summer.
I bet that's true.
And
We'll finally figure out how to do it.
I think aliens will identify themselves. I think they're here. My son says they are.
I think they'll get a hair loss product that you could really works. That's what I'm hoping for.
And a pill to make you lose weight.
Yeah, where you can eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8-year-olds tend to know more than adults, I have found, if you listen to them very carefully. He said that they are here and they are going to clean up the garbage and the pollution. And he says, I hope I live to see the day. And he said if they don't, they're going to tube us out to another planet while they heal this planet and tube us back. Sounds good to me.
I wish the aliens would get down here and just suck us all out of here so that we'd be able to, get on with our lives. Because everybody predicts that the aliens are coming. So why don't they just come, get it over with, and we can go on in 1991?
They're watching. They're gonna wait.
Join us next weekend. We have a spot on the sidelines where you can witness the most memorable moments in football history.
Madonna always finds a way to stay in vogue. This year, no exception.